Good afternoon, guys. MWUSA, Season 3, Episode 40. This is Episode 700, the 700th episode of the Rigged Game Podcast. Amazing. It really is. And I'm going to get you some statistics. It will be late in the day or early tomorrow before I'll be able to wrap up this episode, because I decided after doing everything with my son, I'm going to leave and I'm going to get a full day in. So that is our goal. So we are just leaving home now. It is 12:30 in the afternoon. And I did hang out with my son. I had mentioned that he was having some issues in school. He wasn't having a good day yesterday. And lately he's been talking about how he doesn't like his teacher. And so I decided to keep him home from school today, which I am totally against. I never missed a day of school when I was a kid. But I decided to keep him home, and we went out for the day. We left around 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning. We went to McDonald's. He got something to eat, got a drink. We went to my post office where my P.O. box is that I haven't checked in many months. We checked that. We went to the dollar store and looked around there for a minute. We went to a computer store. He got to see all kinds of new technology and stuff. We went to a GameStop, but it was closed, even though they said they opened at 11. They weren't open yet. We went to a comic book store, and then we ended up going to another GameStop that was open. And interestingly, when we went there, we were looking around. They didn't have what he wanted, which was Pokemon cards. And this older gentleman comes in, and he says, I bought this game for my granddaughter. She's 9, and she doesn't like it, so I want to exchange it. And I guess they have only a 2-week exchange. And the guy said, I can't help you. There's nothing I could do. It doesn't have any trade-in value or anything. And I'm like, what is going on here? And the guy was so disappointed that he didn't even buy another game. He just left. And I said to the GameStop employee, I said, why don't you just buy the game from him? And then he can use that money to buy something else, even though it might not be worth much. And so he's like, oh yeah, I should have thought of that. So I went out to the guy's car and I said, go back in there, they'll buy it from you, and at least, you'll be able to get something else. And I guess he got a whatever it is, PlayStation for his grandkids with different games, and when they come over to his house, then they play it. So that was interesting. My son ended up just getting some sleeves for his Pokemon card. GameStop has like an annual membership. It's like $60 or something like that, maybe more, and you get 5% off anything you buy, but you also get $5 a month, so it pays for the membership. Well, during Christmas time, I think it was $20 for the membership, so every month from December until now so far, we've gone back in there and gotten $5 worth of Pokemon cards or something. So that's a fun little thing that we do together. So anyway, today I am going to travel probably around 500 miles, so it's going to be a long day. I'm just going to take our time, do things right. I may have to skip 1 or 2 casinos to get home by midnight, or 1 or 2 in the morning, but we're going to go for it. So just leaving home now, and I won't need gas till at least my second stop, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, still on my way to the first casino. I wanted to mention that I will do updated numbers tonight. Somehow I will find the time to do updated numbers and release it with this. I want to know, did I make 100,000 from the last 100 episodes, from episode 600 to 700? Did I make 100,000? And I'm thinking probably not, but we'll see where we're at. I know it's been rough, but at the end of the year there, we made a run for it, so it's possible. So right now, let me just tell you what I'm doing and where I'm at. It's 19 degrees, heavy snow. I'm on a narrow highway, 2-lane highway, and like I said, heavy snow, a little bit of sun like from behind the clouds, so like the clouds aren't too thick, so it's like a blinding snow right now that I'm driving through. So trying to stay safe, and I'll come back and let you know how things go at my first stop. Alright guys, I am back. Not really much to say at that first stop. I found one play. I played that one through. Actually, I found a couple small ones after that, lost a couple bucks on each of those. I was in there for probably 25 minutes or so, and I ended my session ahead, $52. While I was in there, I saw one guy who's a half-assed advantage player make some money and then lose it right away in another machine, which, you know, the first machine he was supposed to play, the second machine was just a junk machine, and he played that one anyway. Then I saw another guy who is also like that, who said he's lost a lot of money the last 2 days, and he's like, there's a play right there, but it's borderline. I said, it's a little bit less than borderline, and it's been there for a while, and I haven't wanted to play it, so it's $4 a spin, and it's just too marginal for me. Especially, it's going to take a few hundred spins to hit it. It's not really worth it for it, you know. I did get some word from my wife about our dog. I had mentioned that our dog needed some surgery, and he got through it all okay. I don't know exactly what happened, but he had some really bad gums and teeth and stuff like that, and they might have had to pull all of them. So he might have no teeth in his mouth right now, I'm not sure. But he did make it through all right, so no problem there. So we'll see what happens. And then she springs it on me, how do you want me to pay for it? I'm like, what are you talking about? I thought you were just going to put a down payment. Oh no, you have to pay all of it today. Great. Okay, here's a credit card number. At least I get 2% back on it. So anyway, I sent her that credit card information, and I am moving on to the next casino. Now, by the time I get to this next casino, right now, actually, I would normally be leaving the area where this next casino is, and right now I'm going to be heading toward there, so it's going to be dark before I get there. So we'll see how things go. Hoping to have a couple good blackjack sessions, and you'll be the first to know about it. So moving on to the next casino, 23 degrees outside, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. I'm actually getting ready to walk into the next casino. I already finished at the one, and I'm moving on to the next one. And yeah, I didn't play any slots, didn't find anything in there to play, but I did play some blackjack on a $20 table. They have weird limits here, 20, 35, really weird limits. A spread from one hand at 25 to two hands at 100, sometimes 150. So it's like a 1 to 8, 1 to 12 spread. And I bought in for a total of 800. I was down as much as 600 at one point, and I ended the session ahead 200, so plus 200 overall. Had a really rough time in the middle there, but came through at the end, and had a breakout shoe, and then left at the end of that plus 200. So moving on to the next spot here, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, let's catch up here. Couple things going on. I did hear from my wife about the dog. The dog is okay. He had 6 teeth removed, and he's doing all right. He's still got some teeth, so he's going to be okay. He'll be able to eat. We were worried because we thought maybe they would pull them all and then he'd have to eat soft food for the rest of his life, but that wasn't the case, luckily for him. And so I did go into the next casino, and this is really starting to become comical. I mean, eventually it makes you cry, but right now I guess it's still a little bit comical. I haven't started crying yet. I go into this casino and start looking at slots first. I see no plays, and then I see one machine with a guy on it, and he's just watching his wife play, on a different machine, and I didn't want to tell him to get up so I could check it, but it looked like there might have been a play on there. It was a small play, under $1, so, to tell him to get up and then it's like 10 spins and then walk away, I just thought I'd come back. So I found a couple small plays eventually between playing blackjack. I did play blackjack twice at that casino, and anyway, I came back to that machine to check it, and the guy was playing it at that point, and there was a play on there. And then I came back again, and someone else was sitting there, so I just abandoned that. But I did end up playing one slot and ended up ahead $12, so plus $12 on the slot. So I decided to play some blackjack, and it's been a really long time since I've played regular low-limit tables. So I've been watching out for things like Hit 17, watching out for 8 deck, and stuff like that. Well, I forgot something, and you know what that is. What else is there you have to watch out for? So I sit at this table, I buy in for $300. It's a $25 to $2,500, I think, table. Although I would really doubt that they're going to let you bet $2,500 on this table at this casino. Anyway, I play a couple hands, and then somebody gets a blackjack, and I hear the person say, even money. And the dealer says, you can't take even money. And I'm like, what? You can't take even money? What kind of table can't take even money? Well, I didn't know that, what kind of table you couldn't take even money at, because I've never played one before long term. Usually it's just a hand or two, then you figure it out. It's a 6 to 5 table. You can take insurance, but you can't take even money. So anyway, I ended up leaving that table right away. I was up like 1 unit, and looked at slots, came back, and went to the high limit. It was like too high. I went back to the low limit. I found a $25 table that was empty, 6 deck, Hit 17, 3 to 2. Okay table, not great. About 3/4 of a deck penetration, very reasonable. It's an okay game. So I sit down there, buy in for $300 at that table, start playing, lose the first 8 hands, push a hand, lose 4 more hands. I'm like, blackjack does not like me right now. So I played there for a while. A lady comes to the table. It's a $25 minimum. She buys in for $100, and then she's buying in for $5 at a time because she wants to play the side bet. And she's like, how's the table going? I'm like, well, I just lost the first 8 hands. Oh, maybe I can change things around. That's right, lady. You're going to be the one to change things for me. Thank you for that. Thank goodness you're here, lady. Please sit down and change things for me. Anyway, she ended up losing in a hurry, ended up leaving, and I ended up winning a very little bit of money. And overall, I ended my ugly blackjack session ahead $69. $69 for 2 sessions of blackjack, $12 for slots, and it's exhausting. It really is. When you're driving another hour and a half to a casino to make nickels and dimes, it starts to wear on you. I mean, I'm driving in the dark right now. What is going on here? So we're moving on right now to another casino. My kid would like me, a different kid, a daughter, would like to see me tomorrow during school for an awards ceremony. And I'm supposed to be at the office. And you know what I've been doing is going to the office on Friday and then leaving, and then coming back, or leaving the office and going to play slots and playing blackjack and stuff. So I just been kind of like scanning my card at the door so it shows that I was there, and I've been leaving. So I guess we're going to pull that one tomorrow. We're going to go to the office for a little bit of time, maybe an hour or so, and then I'll probably go to a casino, and then go to my daughter's thing, and then probably, I don't know. I mean, I would start my day after that, but Fridays are so hard to make money because there's so many people camping out everywhere. So I'm not positive what I'm going to do. But right now the plan is going to be go to the office, go to a casino, see my daughter, go back to that same casino and then decide what to do. Maybe I'll play poker tomorrow night. I don't know. We'll see. That would make more sense, really, for a Friday. But for now, we are moving on to another casino, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back, and another swing and a miss. You know, it seems like all these anniversary episodes are always bad for some reason. I don't know why. Overall, I do so good. I have such a high percentage throughout the year, and then these couple anniversary ones every year seem just to be garbage. So anyway, one in here played 5 or 6 different big plays, and it was a swing and a miss on almost all of them. I mean, it went pretty horrendously. I saw so many people checking machines. I saw people from a city 2 hours away where it's so overcrowded there that they're coming over here now instead of their home city to play machines, and that's a very bad sign, and that's one of the reasons why things are getting worse and worse. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but something's going to have to give here pretty soon. There's not enough money to go around for people to be able to do this and live on it. So anyway, overall ended my session down $188, and just pretty speechless here the way things have been going. I put in the next casino on the map, and it's 2 hours away, and I don't know if I feel like doing it. I just feel just so awful about the way things are going. I just kind of want to take a break. I drive, and then there's nothing, and then drive some more, and then, you know, place $50,000 in bets on a table to make $80 or something, you know, with all the bets added together. It's like things have just been so horrendous lately. Anyway, look at the bright side. We still made money today, so that's good. Moving forward, just got to take it one step at a time. It's so hard to keep your mind focused like that when you're in the situation, and like I've said before, when it's just you, I'm talking into a phone. You guys aren't answering me back. You guys aren't talking back to me. So I don't know. That's what's going on right now. Very unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? Right now, I am heading in the direction of the next casino. It's also the direction toward home. I have to make a decision in the next 50 miles if I'm gonna go one way or another. So I'm gonna sit back and think about this for a while, decide what I want to do. It's already 9 o'clock, and very far away from home. Just got to figure out which way I'm going to go. So that's what's happening right now. I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, a little glimmer of hope here. So I go to this casino after a 2-hour drive plus. I actually did a YouTube live for about an hour and a half, which was pretty cool. Some of the regulars in there and a few new people, which was really nice. And then we had one guy in there that was just, I don't know what his problem was. He was talking about like just stupid stuff that was very racially charged, and I kicked him out of there immediately. As soon as he started that, I didn't even give a warning. I just immediately kicked him out. This is a podcast that has to do with helping each other and caring and being good people and honest people, respectful people, and we don't put anybody down. So you know, anyway, and we definitely don't use any kind of racial slurs or anything like that at all. So anyway, finally ended up getting here, and I walked through one time, and I think, why did I just waste 2 hours coming out here? I found one of the initial plays that I found was almost identical to one that sat for 2 days at another casino because it was too expensive and nobody wanted to give it a shot. Well, after going around this whole casino, I didn't find any other plays. I'm trying to think here. yeah, initially at that point I hadn't found any other place, and so I decided to sit down and play that one through. It was at $4 a spin. So I played that through, and it actually worked out really well. I ended up ahead, maybe 225 or something like that on it. So that was a good start. And then I get up from there and I walk a few steps. There's a machine with 20 cents in it or whatever. You know how I am. I pick everything up. So I go pick that up, and as I'm cashing it out, I see one in the next aisle over. So between the machines, I see this other play. That's an excellent play. So I run over there as fast as I can. I sit down. I can't believe it's still there with all the people in there. And I start playing it. And it takes about, 7 or 8 minutes. And it actually paid out pretty nicely. Then I had a couple spins at $5 a spin. I had 5 spins on a machine that paid me $20 or $30, and overall I ended up finishing that session ahead $375. So it was actually my best session of the day in a casino. So what can I say? Sometimes when you least expect it, stuff happens. So all that worked out pretty well. Then I took one more lap after I was done and picked up a few other little scraps, and that was about it. So plus 375 at that spot. Had a really good conversation with some people. One person in particular, I won't say names, but he said that he was a card counter initially and found my podcast and has spread out into some other things because of the podcast, and I really appreciate that. And we're gonna continue on. So just to give you an idea, the direction I went this morning would normally be a day on its own. It didn't go very well. I had extra time today, blah, 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 all this stuff going on tomorrow. So the part that I'm adding now, the casino I just went to and the next 2 casinos, would normally be a day on their own. I would probably add one more that I'm not going to tonight, just because of the distance and because the blackjack would not be open at that time. By the time I got there, there would only be bad games available. But so this half of the day would normally be a whole separate day. So I'm actually going further away from home at this point to get to this next place, and then we'll start going toward home for one more place after that. So that's what's going on right now. Just to give you an idea, it's 21 degrees outside. I have driven almost 500 miles already, and we haven't made much. We made about $800 today, $850, something like that. But still confident that we'll find something at the next 2 stops, and I'll be back to update you real soon. 19 degrees now outside. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that took about 35 minutes to get to this casino. I was in the casino for about 25 minutes and walked around and saw all the usual people in there, and it was pretty quiet in there, not much happening. Not a lot of customers in there, a lot of people sitting around doing nothing, a lot of people with nowhere to go, kind of camped out there. Now, a lot of the casinos I go to have security that go around and look for things like that, but in this case, I find many times when I come here that there's what seems like possibly homeless or almost homeless people hanging around doing nothing. So anyway, walking around and looking at stuff and just not finding much. I found like a 2-spin $1 play, played that, lost $2. Looked at things, nothing, and finally I find a play. I find a 1-spin play for under $1, which yields nothing, and then another one that's one that people are afraid of, and I don't blame them for being afraid of it, because it could be a monster. It's about $8 a spin, and when it's not paying, it pays about 0 or 25 cents when you hit something. So it's a very scary machine, and but it was in position. I played it, and I ended up winning whatever, $100 and something on it. And then I played one other machine, which happens to be the same one that I just played a little while ago, 200 plus miles from here, at $4 a spin. I played it here at a minimum bet level, and I lost about $5 or $6 on that one. And that was really about it. Got myself a little Diet Dr. Pepper, and that was it. I was out of there pretty quickly. They did take out 3 machines at least that I usually make some kind of money off weekly. Not much, but $5 or $10. But every little bit helps. So those are gone. They replaced them with some ridiculous machines that you're not going to be able to beat. But overall, it was okay. Ended my session ahead $121. So made some money in there and didn't take too much time. And right now we're going to move on to another casino. That casino is approximately 84 miles from my current position. So we're going to relax and we're going to drive out there. I have never, maybe once, driven from this casino to that casino, because normally this is not my normal schedule at all, and I would never go from this casino to the next casino in that order, because it doesn't normally make sense. But in this case, we're going to do it, and it's already 2 o'clock almost in the morning, so it's going to be 3:30. I'd be about 5 by the time I get home. That'll give me enough time to take a nap for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and then head out for the day. So that's what's happening right now, and I'll be back after my next stop. All right, folks, I am back. So good news and bad news for you. The bad news is I'm probably not going to be able to put any kind of numbers in this episode, maybe in the next one or the one after that. Well, for sure, I don't know. The next few episodes, I'll get some numbers in there as far as how we're doing since the last 100 episodes. But obviously, going to be getting home about 5 a.m. I'm probably not going to be doing that. But I am going to be working on my job at 5 a.m. because there was a person who was on call, and he asked me to cover for him because he had some medical stuff going on and he was going to be out of the office, and I said sure. So I've got to do his job. It would just take me like half an hour or so to do that, so I'll do that when I get home, and by the time he gets up and looks, it'll be done. So that's all fine. I went into this place, and pretty quiet in there, maybe 24 cars outside. I go in and looking around and find one play, lose a few bucks on that, and then I see some borderline ones. I see 3 or 4 borderline plays, and I just decide just to let them go and to come back later since it's so quiet anyway. I was going to go into the high limit and look at a machine in there, but a bunch of the managers were standing near it, so I let that go. Came back around the side, looked at a few machines, nothing there. Went to the back, looked, found 1 or 2 plays. I was ahead like $5. Then I was down about $20, and just really nothing going on. Finally, I came back to the high limit area, and there were 2 plays, both of them at $10. At this point, I'm down about $20. Play the first one, and it doesn't pay very well. I'm up like $50. Play the second one, and it pays okay. I'm up like $150, which is still, when you're playing that much per spin, it's not great. And then I find another machine in the high limit. It's at about $4 a spin. I play that one through, and not much happening there. I think I broke even on that one, or won or lost less than $1 on that one, which is kind of crazy. But then I come back around to the middle and look at a couple of those marginal plays. I found one that I thought was okay. I played that one for just a minute and got a couple bucks out of that one. And then that was pretty much it. So I was taking one final lap before I left, and I start seeing some security people standing around, and then more security people, and then more security people, and then the managers, and then the slot attendants. They were all converging on this one area. And I went over to take a look, and there's a guy who's very unhappy with what's going on. I don't know if it's the first time he's ever gambled or what the deal is, but he was yelling that he put $20 in this machine, $20, and he got a bonus, and you know what it paid? $0. How's that possible? $0. And I think he might have been like smacking the machine. I don't think that hard, but he was pretty upset, and I was going on and on about it. And then he kind of walked away toward the back, and they all followed him, and I decided just to take off. So, very unfortunate, but hopefully he doesn't get arrested. Hopefully he just gets a warning or 24 hours that he can't show up or something like that. But that's pretty much it. Ended the session ahead, $159. So things kind of came together toward the end, although, you know, it's a lot of extra miles. Let's go through our segments. What did you eat today, MW? You're actually going to be pretty surprised. All I've had to eat in the last, I don't know, 30 hours or more is I ordered like a corned beef with Swiss, I believe, whatever the default was, no bread, and I just got the meat and nothing else. I ate that, and I had a blue Red Bull, some water, and a small bag of chips, and that's all I had the last 30 hours. So, and what did you tip today, MW? I'm trying to think back here because I don't think I tipped anything, because I played 2 terrible sessions of blackjack. Only made less than $300 for those 2 sessions. And then, not really much going on as far as slots. So I tipped $0. And, I don't know, pretty indifferent about today. Nothing good, nothing bad. A little frustrating when you play multiple sessions that yield close to $0, but in the end came out ahead about $1,000 for the day, so it's not bad. So right now I'm going to go ahead and head home, and I'll be back with you tomorrow for episode 701, and hopefully the next 300 episodes are good, and I would love to come back with episode 1000 and say I've reached the $1 million mark. I think it's very possible. So, you know, that's going to be our goal, to be at $1 million by the time we get to episode 1000. We could probably do it by episode 900 if everything goes well. For now, I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.